All right, for lesson 9 in code.org, unit 3, CSD. Question of the day, how can we use text to improve our scenes and animations? This lesson introduces GameLab's text commands, giving students more practice using the coordinate plane and parameters. The coordinate plane is going to be that grid that shows up on the left side of the screen. And parameters are what we used last time, the .x, .y, .rotation, and .scale. At the beginning of the lesson, they are asked to caption a cartoon created in GameLab. They then move on to Code Studio, where they practice placing text on the screen and controlling other text properties such as size. So now we can scale. We should be able to scale, rotate, size all of our text as well. One of the ones that's going to be built in pretty right off the bat is going to be text size.
Is there a new code?
There's going to be a new code block, this blue text now. It says, read the code below and make a prediction. What will show on the screen, where will it be displayed? So it says text.hello 10,200. What do we think that 10,200 is going to be? Where it's at. Yep, x being 10, x being 10, y being 200. So that one's probably going to be, well, it's going to be middle, right? Middle left. Okay, and it's going to say hello, and then text everyone is going to be at 200, 300. So if I go 200, 300, that's going to be kind of in the bottom right. So it's going to, middle, correct. Sorry, middle right. Or no, middle bottom, I should say, not middle right. Because it's well, it's 200, 300. 300 is the Y, so it's up and down.
So it's going to be in the middle.
So let's just do these one at a time. The hello text will be on the middle left, yep. And the everyone text will be in the bottom middle. Or middle bottom, either one. So one's gonna show up here, one's gonna show up here. Wow, he's gonna get a Jungle Rainbow bag. Press run, and there's our text. Sorry, I'm minimized way out.
Wow, they're so tiny.
Yep, it is really tiny though too. Okay, so that's why text size is going to be very important. Nope, you really can't. Okay. All right, we're gonna press continue on that one. Nicholas, you doing your assignment?
No.
All right, text. You can put text anywhere you'd like on the screen using text command. Read the documentation by clicking on the block in the toolbox to see how to change the size and color of your text. It says change the displayed text in the provided code. Add a second text box to write in a different part of the screen. So we've got background light yellow, change the text, change me, and add another text block, 50 to 100. We press run, and we see that show up here.
Aww, yours is in a yellow background.
Yeah, mine's really weird. I'm going to restart this.
I changed mine to pink.
Still not light yellow.
Just change it to blue. It might just be the board.
Yeah. Change it to red and be an anarchist.
There you go.
Okay, then what I can do is I can go to this drawing tab, and what I can do is I can add in a fill color again. Okay, and I can change my text color. So I want my text color to be black so that I can see it. So I'm going to drag out that fill and change my text to black. Now I can kind of see it. And then the other thing that I can do is I can change the size. And all of these are pretty much going to be self-explanatory. Hey.
Should you put the fill after the text?
No, before, because remember you dip your brush, then whatever follows is going to be that.
Dip your brush and then you fill.
Same thing with text size. So I'm going to drag out this text size block, and I'm going to change my text size to 24 instead of 12. So when I press reset and run, I've got this larger text here. It makes my text go off the screen, so I'm actually going to tone it down just a little bit and go to 18. Okay, so now I've got this change me and add another text block is being put in there. I can change that text. I can change where it's located.
Yeah, add emojis. I'll test it out.
I don't think so. All right. So what we want to do is we want to grab this text here, and if we see that blue box that shows up, the three things that we're putting in are the string, the X, and the Y. So the string is going to be what text shows up on the screen, and then the X and the Y is the location. So if I wanted a different color or size to come in, I could add those in. So if I want my next text size to be 24, I have to put that out. Okay, then I would put this text string out. Inside the double quotes is what text I would have show up. So okay, and then the location. Let's say I want the text string to show up. Peyton, you want to answer that?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, are you sad today?
Okay. So what we're looking at here is when I've got this 5200. So if I take a look here, let's do black.
5200.
So when I see this 5200 here, what that's saying is this part of my block is where the location is going to be, because this is 200 in the Y. Okay, is going to be the middle, and then 50 is going to be right here. That's my X. Should make that a little more obviously a Y instead of an X. Okay, so we're looking at the very corner of where our text string is going to be created when we do the X and the Y here. The X and the Y. Okay, so that's what we're placing. So when we're placing our line of text, it's not like we're trying to guess somewhere in the middle or somewhere at the end. It's getting placed based on the very corner of our string.
Y is how far down it goes, right?
Y is how far up and down it's going to be. Remember, we start in the top left. So if I want my new text to show up right here in the corner, I can take a look here at my X and Y. My X is 30, my Y is 32. I'm just going to do X and Y 30, 30. So I'm going to change right here. So when I put my mouse up here, I just take a look at the show underneath the show grid, and I can see the X and Y for where my mouse pointer is at. That's a really useful tool when it comes to placing your text.
Wait, how do you get your text color?
You put in a different fill color.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to do 30, 30. And then when I press reset and run, it's going to show up right here. Okay, so if I look at 30, 30, it's pretty much right underneath the I. Actually, it's about right underneath the T, but okay. So it at least gets us close. There's no text color. You actually put in the fill color. So if I wanted this to not be black, I would put a fill color above the text, and then I would have to use my drop down, and I could make it green. And then if I press reset and run, the It's Monday turns green. Okay? But you don't need to do any of that. All you needed to do was add in the new line of text. But text is going to be really useful, and a lot of those built-in blocks are going to be pretty self-explanatory as far as like the color and stuff goes. So it says you can change the text size using the text size block. We did that in the last one. Read the code to see how it works. Add a new text size block to make the word large the biggest. Okay, so if we press run, our small, medium, large, our large is not the biggest one. So we've got 20, 40, and so if we went to in the same thing,
Is there more than one block?
you left click and drag, and then you can select multiple. Okay, so I'm going to change this text size to 60. You left click in the workspace, hold, and drag over. You should have like a blue box being created.
Is that all we do for that one?
This is an open.
Yep, that's all you do for that one. Maybe refresh your page and then it should work.
Let's do this.
Let's do the greetings.
Yeah, no, let's make this.
Yeah, this one's fun.
It looks kind of cute.
I've done this one before.
None of the text is showing up.
Yeah. Refresh your page.
So
If your code, this is a great thing for all of you to know. If your code studio is not working or not displaying something that you know that it should be, refresh the whole browser.
We're doing this.
The assessment?
Yeah. Yeah. I have my text size at 20 and it's not showing up.
Did you put your text size and then your string below it?
Yeah, I did.
Is it too big? Or is it showing up? Is your text size or text behind a background or a shape?
Shouldn't be. Hold on.
All right, this scene has all the right code, but it's not in the right order. So this is a great one. This might be what you guys are having an issue with over there. The scene should look like the image to the right. Can you reorder the blocks so that each part of the scene is drawn in the correct order?
Nope.
Okay. You often want to call draw sprites at the very end of your program so that sprites are on top of the background, but for some designs, you want to call the draw sprites earlier so that your sprites are on top of some shapes but below others. Okay, so we want it to look like that over there. Our draw sprites is at the very end, but we actually want our draw sprites to show up kind of right away, other than the background. Okay, so I need to move my draw sprites block to line, let's go to line 3. In between line, let's move it to line 4, right below background. So now when I press reset and run, my my snake shows up behind everything, other than the background. If I put it behind the background, the light pink background is going to show up.
And then do you do draw sprites again?
What's that?
Do you do draw sprites again before?
Nope, because we drew our sprite where we want it to show up in the code, so we don't actually put our draw sprites at the end. So that's what this hint paragraph here is talking about saying that usually you'd put it at the end, but in this case, if you want it to show up behind something else, you have to put it in a specific order.
So now highlight all the text stuff the last.
Yep, so now we want to make the text show up first, or after that, so we're going to highlight our text blocks, which are lines 6, 7, and 8, and we want to put that last after the rectangles because we want that to show up on top.
How do you highlight them?
So what you're going to do is you're going to put your mouse in the white space of the workspace, left click and hold, and it'll create this blue box, and then you just drag over the ones that you want selected, so you might have to start in a different spot. Okay, so we're moving the fill black, text size, and text greetings, and we moved those 3 lines of code to the very end of our code. Everybody get that one? Okay, so we press finish there. Our assessment is level 6, so this is your assignment for today. I will help you with this one as well. It says here is a scene, but it needs text. Add 2 pieces of text to the following scene. Make the 2 pieces of text different sizes. So if we press run, this is what we get. That's kind of a cool scene.
The butterflies are cute.
I want to add some text up here on the top, and I want it to show up right here.
Yeah, I have that bottom.
Yep, so I want it to show up above everything else, so I need to add it below draw sprites. Okay, because if any of these sprites are being drawn, the butterflies, the robot, the aliens, the floating grass, the background, the scene that's being set, all of that stuff, I need the text to show up after that so that it gets pretty much printed on the top. So
that was our problem, is because the text
in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to first pick a color that I want it to be. So I'm going to do a fill color, and I'm going to put that underneath the draw sprites block of code. I'm going to minimize my instructions so I can see all my stuff here. I'm going to make it black because I'm going to put it in the sky so that I can see it. Okay, so if I make it black, I'm going to drag out this text string now. I'm going to say, what a beautiful place.
I agree.
And I'm going to put it up in this corner here. Last time I put it up in that top left corner, I did 30-30. Let's stick with that, see what we get. If I press reset and run, this is what I get. I want to make it that a little bit bigger, so I'm going to drag out my text size and put it in between those two lines of code. And I'm going to try text size 18. 18, that seems about right. I want to go a little bit bigger. Let's try 22. There we go. That's what I want. And let's say that I want it a little bit lower. Okay, it got bigger. I want it a little bit lower. I'm going to change my y variable in my text string on line 12 to maybe 35. So I press reset and run. It moved it down 5 pixels. I can do that. Okay. My second line of code, or my second string of text, I want it to be down here. I'm going to put it over here above the robot. 300 looks like 182. Let's try that. I'm going to keep it at fill black, keep it at text size 22 until I need to change it. I'm just going to get my string put out first. And this one's going to say a floating rock, question mark. And I'm going to put it, grab my mouse, 305, 180 it looks like. If I hover my mouse over in that kind of area that I want to put it. And if I press reset and run, now I see that it's over there, but it's too big. I also kind of want to move it down and to the left. So if I'm moving it down first, my y is going to get bigger. I'm going to move it down by 10. And then I want to move it to the left, so my x needs to get smaller. That's something that you'll catch on to as you start creating more things in the drawing lab. So before I change the text size, I just wanted to make sure that it moved down to where I wanted. I'm going to move it down a little bit more. Let's go ahead and move it down so my y is going to get bigger again. Let's do 210 this time. Let's really move it. And then let's make my y smaller by 10 as well. Let's do 285 and see what that gives us.
85?
Yeah, that's about where I want it. Now I'm going to just make it a little bit smaller so that my text actually shows up. And so now I'm going to drag out text size in between the two text strings and change it to, let's just start at 16. Let's see what we get there. There we go, a floating rock. I'm going to move it up a little bit. I've decided I like it a little bit taller. Let's do something weird. Let's do like 218. Oops, that's the wrong way. 190. Isn't that what I was at before? Whatever. That works. Okay, later I could maybe add in a line of text or a line of code that maybe rotates that, or maybe I make that string of text. Later on, we might run into some issues. Let's say that I wanted this text. Let me just animate here. Okay. Let's say that instead of this line of text going this way, let's say that I wanted it to go in that direction. Okay, and kind of float up and look like a thought bubble or a speech bubble. Well, I can't necessarily put a sprite.rotation on a line of text. So one way around that is I could make my text an animation. I could go into my animation tab, call it text 1 or just text, and then I could write, like take my stylus out and write my text in, or there might even be a built-in text piece in the sprites animation tab, and then I could use the rotation block on it. Okay, that sprite property on it. So if you're looking to rotate text, that's one way around it. You have to turn it into a sprite. Okay, if you're looking for just text to be straight across and a color and a size, then you can do that. Okay? All right. Turn that one into Google Classroom. Make sure that you get make sure that you get your code as it's being run, and so like this, I want this output window over here, and then make sure that so that I can see both of your lines of text, because if your lines of text don't fit on your screen, then you're going to lose points. And then make sure that you're getting all of your code down in the bottom. You can press finish, and that will move you on. We're not doing any of the challenge questions. Got about 30 minutes left of class. I'd like you to choose
2 of these 4 challenge questions.
Okay, 2 of these. Actually, no, just 1.
One of the challenge questions that are at the end of this assignment here, and I want you to show me that you've completed it. Just raise your hand and I'll come over to your space. Show me once you've completed one of these 4, and that don't do D because D is just free play. So do text color, white text on a white background, or wrap text, either one of those 3, and then raise your hand once you've completed that one, and then I will come over and check it off, and then you'll be done for the day. Okay?